Hi, this is Dr. Nirmala from the Wellberry, and this is my first YouTube live. As you can see, I am kind of struggling with the camera position and all the instructions that YouTube is giving me right now. Um, so, today the topic of discussion is magnesium. Why is it important? What does magnesium deficiency do to our body? What does a magnesium deficiency look like? And how do we make sure that we have enough magnesium for ourselves to function well, right? But before all of that, the disclaimer. This video is not a medical consultation. What I'm aiming to do here is give you information about magnesium, and the Wellberry channel itself is meant to do that, give you information regarding health related issues and medical issues. And if you do feel that you have some of those issues, then you can discuss it with your doctor or with your nutritionist. But this video itself is not a medical consultation, okay? If you do want to discuss your health issues or especially nutrition related issues with me, I am putting my email address in the link below and you can get in touch with me, right? So let's get straight into the matter. Magnesium. Magnesium is a mineral and it is one of the most important minerals for our body. What does magnesium do within our body? It is important for so many functions, right? For example, our bones, the production of bone in our body, and in order to prevent osteoporosis, magnesium is important. Most of the time when we think about magnesium, we always think when we think about bones, we always think in terms of calcium and vitamin D, right? But magnesium also has a very important role to play. Secondly, magnesium is very important in order to have good nerve function, for the nerves to be able to send signals from one nerve to another. So, and as you know, the nerve signals are so important, whether it is to move our little pinky, to blink our eyes, or even to digest our food. Nerve signals are very important. The third thing that magnesium is very important for is the muscular function. So for our muscles to contract, for athletic movement, right? Athletes also require good amounts of magnesium in order to function, in order to perform well. For our muscles to contract, for our muscles to expand, and all of this, magnesium is required. The next thing where magnesium is required is our cardiovascular system, which includes the heart health. So, for our vessels to expand and contract, for our heart to expand and contract, and make sure that blood is circulating well, for this, magnesium is required. Magnesium is very important for our immunity. It is, which means that it enables us to fight infections. Magnesium is important for our sleep. It's also important for our overall metabolism, which means the energy production in our body is dependent on good levels of magnesium, right? Magnesium has been shown to have a big role to play when it comes to maintaining our blood sugars, especially in diabetics. Magnesium is required if the sugar spikes and dips are to be avoided. Same with blood pressure. Like I told you, magnesium is important in order to make sure that our circulatory system is functioning well. And blood pressure, of course, is dependent on our circulation, right? So magnesium is important in making sure that our blood pressure is maintained at a normal level. Apart from all of this, magnesium is also required to make to give us an overall feeling of wellness in the body. So, what does magnesium deficiency look like? Most of the time, when I speak to clients and when I take a detailed history, the things that I see in people who then have magnesium deficiency, one is they complain of headaches, severe headaches which kind of mimic migraines. And very often, by just giving them adequate magnesium supplements or by making sure that they are educated on how to get enough magnesium from their diet, we are able to reduce the frequency of headaches and also the intensity of headaches. The second thing that magnesium deficiency does is it causes sleep disturbances, especially people who are not able to fall asleep easily. We see that magnesium has a big role to play in it. The third thing that we see in people with magnesium deficiency could be constipation. In fact, in people who come with chronic constipation, sometimes just giving them the right kind of magnesium and in the right dose, apart from, of course, making sure that they are hydrated well and eating right and all of that, just adding magnesium to their diet corrects severe constipation. And I'm talking about, when I say severe constipation, I'm talking about people who sometimes don't go for 2 to 3 days on the run, right? And then when we correct the magnesium levels, their bowel movements improve and they are able to go to the toilet regularly. Another thing that we see in people with magnesium deficiency is muscular cramps, right? Especially cramps that occur late at night or in the middle of the night while we are sleeping. So cramps which kind of can be very painful, and then we end up waking up, our sleep is disturbed. This also can be seen in those with magnesium deficiency. Another thing that we also can see in people with magnesium, with low levels of magnesium, is that they may have irregular heart rate. This is because magnesium is also involved in the regulation of potassium and calcium, which are again two very important minerals. So if the magnesium levels are very low, it can impact upon the potassium levels, and potassium has a big role to play in the way our heart rhythm is maintained. Okay, now the other thing that we see in people with magnesium, with reduced levels of magnesium, is a lot of tiredness and fatigue. Like I said, magnesium is so important for our metabolism. So if a person is not getting enough magnesium, then obviously the energy production in the body gets affected, and this will also affect the way their energy production is. And if the energy is not enough, then obviously the person will be very tired and have a lot of fatigue as well. So these are the symptoms of magnesium deficiency. Now, why does magnesium deficiency occur in the first place? Well, there could be some real medical issues which could cause magnesium levels to be low. For example, if a person has, let's say, a malabsorption issue like an intestinal problem with either IBS or Crohn's disease, where they are not able to absorb nutrients from the food, then there could be magnesium deficiency. The other medical cause for magnesium deficiency would be that they could be having kidney problems, or they could have adrenal problems. Now the kidney and adrenal again are very important in maintaining hormonal balances in the body, making sure that too much of toxins are not accumulating in the body. So if there is a kidney problem also, there can be magnesium issues. Apart from these two medical conditions which can cause magnesium imbalance in the body, obviously food plays a big role. So if we are not eating the right kinds of food, if there is malnourishment because of the kind of food that we're eating, then again magnesium levels can be reduced. So if a person comes to us with, like, let's say headache or sleeplessness or having cramps or constipation, in some people they can even lose appetite. They may not feel hungry because again the metabolism is low. So when the metabolism is low, their appetite is reduced. So how do we know whether a person has a magnesium deficiency or no? You can do a blood test to figure out whether a person has magnesium issues. If there is a problem and if it is quite severe, then yes, the blood test will pick it up. It will show a level which is lesser than the normal range that is given. But sometimes, even in my own practice, I have seen that the blood level of magnesium may be normal, within the normal range, but they still have a lot of symptoms. In these cases, it is still safe to give magnesium supplements and see whether their symptoms reduce. For example, have the cramps in the legs, the night cramps, has it reduced? Or is the person feeling more energetic? One of the biggest things that I see when a person takes magnesium supplements, even if their levels in the blood work is normal, when they take magnesium supplements, I do see that they say that their sleep is really good. They feel rested after a night's sleep, and some of them also do tell me that they are relieved of constipation. So, like I said, these are people who may have good levels of magnesium in the blood work, but their symptoms suggest that they do require magnesium supplementation. Now, let me also tell you that magnesium supplementation alone is not enough. Sometimes we have to make sure that, not sometimes, all the time, we have to make sure that this goes along with the right kind of eating, enough intake of water, and also electrolytes and salt. Without that, just giving magnesium supplements alone will not help, right? Magnesium has an important role to play, but it has to be done in combination with the right kind of food as well. Now, apart from doing the blood test, and like I said, if the person still has symptoms of magnesium deficiency, and if we have ruled out kidney problems, no adrenal problems, no malabsorption issues, like the intestine is working normal, then what are the kind of foods that a person should have in order to correct magnesium deficiency, or in order to make sure that they don't become deficient, right? So a lot of green leafy vegetables like your spinach, your drumstick leaves, methi leaves, all of these are rich in magnesium. The other things that are rich in magnesium are your seeds, like your pumpkin seeds, watermelon seeds. They again are a rich source of magnesium. Apart from that, magnesium is also available in nuts like your almonds, your walnuts, your pecan nuts, and all of that. Magnesium is also seen in all kinds of red meat. In also seafood, magnesium is available. Now, one of the best ways in which we can make, now if it's difficult for us to have a wide array of food every day in order to get enough magnesium, then one of the best ways to make sure that we are getting magnesium through our meals is to have bone broth. Now, there are enough recipes on YouTube where people are teaching you how to make good quality bone broth. The only thing that I want to add is make sure that when we talk about bone broth, you're not having the store bought packaged bone broth, but homemade or at least freshly made bone broth. The good thing about bone broth is that it can be kept in the fridge. It can even be kept in the freezer. So you can make a big batch and then kind of take it out on a weekly basis and use it, right? So 1 to 2 cups of bone broth daily for those who do have non-vegetarian food is a good source of having, is a good way in which you can have magnesium, right? For those who do not eat non-vegetarian food, like I said, make sure you have a lot of green leafy vegetables in your diet. If you cannot have green leafy vegetables because again you have some kind of intestinal issues with too much of greens, like if you get diarrhea with greens and things like that, then at least make sure that you're having nuts, you're having seeds, and this way you can make sure that you're getting enough magnesium supplemented into your meals, right? And like I said, if you have any of these symptoms of magnesium deficiency, a headache, constipation, not able to sleep properly, having cramps at night, if you are diabetic or you have high blood pressure and the blood pressure is not coming under control, then again it would be indicated